Nashville Superspeedway, and we are back in the Diet Dr. Pepper series for a race that I'm very excited about. I don't know if we're going to be very fast, but it should still be a really fun one. We're doing 187 laps here at Nashville Superspeedway. This will be the longest race that I have ever done here since the track came out, and I'm really excited for that. That will be about 250 miles, so that would be half of a 500-mile race. So I figured that would work out. You know, races of this era, obviously Cup didn't race Nashville Superspeedway in the Gen 4 and the year that I'm pulling this schedule from. But that year, it was mostly 500-mile races, so I figured doing 187 laps, so half of that was a horrible corner, would be acceptable. I know the truck series when we ran here ran 150 laps. NIS every time we've run here has been 150 laps. But I figured going longer with this one to be half of a 500-mile race instead of a 400-mile race would be a fun challenge. And this track is just so awesome that I think more laps will be good. And it should open up some interesting pitting strategies and tire strategies. We only have 4 sets of tires in the pits, and I'm going to be starting in the freaking back. That was not good at all. Oh well. I think everyone makes it from Q. Let's see if we can improve a little bit here. That was not great. Not a great lap. I should have ran a 30.2 or 30.3 or 30.1 would have been even more around what I was running. That puts us up to 21st, 23rd now. That's alright. It's going to be a fun one, I think. Such a long race. This is going to be one of the longer ones. I mean, the longest race we're going to do is going to be 300 miles at Charlotte for the half of the 600, which is also going to be an exciting race. A really tough race. So, 250 besides the Coke 600, 250 miles will be the longest we do. We've already done a couple. But I think this will be really fun, and I'm looking forward to it. Wish I hadn't screwed up qualifying so bad, but I don't know why. I overdrove turn 1 the first time, and then got extremely loose out of turn 2 the second time. That's okay, we just out-qualified Nick, it looks like. Can I change my time? Me too, I wish. Colton! Looking extremely quick again. Look at Warren up there with a 29.9 right behind him. Andrew and Tracy and Layton. Oh, and then Nick goes and runs a 30.0. I thought we just out-qualified him, but no. That was his first lap. We botched it, but that's alright. We're still going to be in the race. We got Alan in here, of course. Eric, the 2-time winner. Colton, the 2-time winner now. John is in here, the 3-time winner. And that's the only winners we've had in the series so far. Bunch of repeating winners, which is kind of cool. Nick and Kevin. Kevin was the points leader, but I think I bumped up to the points lead now just because I've been here every time and I've been somewhat consistent. Colton is right behind me, though, not very far. He's also been in all the races. Then Ryan has joined us, Michael, who's doing really good in points, Caden, JP, Tyler, Benjamin, Timothy, Nicholas, Steven, Austin, Nick King, Ryan, Chad, Jordan, Peter, Frank, Dakota, Ronald, Dan Taylor, Alan, who we mentioned, Chuck, who's really, really fast. Usually he must have screwed up qualifying as well. Alan, Rick, Bryce, Eric, Zachary, Grady, John Sinu, apologies if I pronounced that wrong. Robert, who I think disconnected, Matthew, and then Lance. I think had he not disconnected, we still would have been able to transfer everybody without a heat race, so that's alright. Looks like we got 42 drivers here, another 5, or another full field, pretty much. Really exciting. 4 sets of tires in the pits. Let's go see where our pit stall is. Pretty dang early. We'll go practice a green flag stop if we can get out here quickly. This is a pretty tight turn to get onto pit road, but honestly, I didn't find it too difficult. I'm braking right at the ally sign in the middle of 3 and 4 on the wall, and it seems to be working for me all right. We'll see how that feels on very, very old tires. But it's looking like this might be a 3-stop race, which is pretty crazy. It's going to be a long one. We did 150 laps here in Nick's Truck NIS series, and that was like an hour and 40 minutes. So this is not going to be a short race. And we didn't have that many cautions in that race either. I don't expect this one to have very many cautions. We had 2 at Texas, and this usually goes cleaner than just about any other track. We'll see how many we get, if any. Can we do 187 laps green? That'd be amazing. Hopefully I won't screw up the start like I did last time. I'm braking right at this ally sign and just dragging it onto the apron. That's not as aggressive as you could be with it, but I'm just making sure we can get it down here. And we can find our pit stall.
3, 2.
Kind of in the middle of the front stretch. Also, I want to make something clear about the mistake I made last time. The reason I was giving everyone's lap back and everything like that, it wasn't because I wrecked the field. Like, if I wreck people as a mistake, that's just part of racing, right? I'm not going to give you your lap back every time I cause an issue. But the reason I did it there is because we wrecked before we even took the green flag, so half the field hadn't even taken a lap or got past the start-finish line, so it trapped them all a lap down, and that's just a scoring bug. So I was just trying to correct that, the iRacing scoring. Obviously, in real life, if they wreck like that, it wouldn't be that issue. It's just the automatic scoring screws up if you don't even get it to the line for the first time. So that's why I was trying to give everyone's lap back, because that was all screwed up from the mistake. Not because I made the mistake. Because obviously, I'm going to make mistakes sometimes. It's part of racing. I think everyone understands that. I'm just making that clear, because I don't want people to be expecting me to give everything back if I cause an issue accidentally or something like that, you know, just hard racing. And I don't think anyone expects me to. I just wanted to make sure that was clearly stated. We were just fixing that stupid scoring bug that happens sometimes that you can't get fixed in official because there's no one actually scoring. But since I had the ability to do that, I went ahead and did it. Here we go. 187 laps. What are we starting even? Let's see. Starting 28th. I have not been good at qualifying, and you know what? I'm usually never good at qualifying. So I guess that makes sense.
Putting plenty of fuel to finish the race.
We're going to be starting in 2nd gear this time. I guarantee you. You can do about 45 to 50 laps on a tank. I believe, so we'll see when people start pitting. It's a tiny window, but that could open up. There could be some strategy plays still.
I'm not sure I can hear people on mic.
Good luck, everybody. Do you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I got you. I was just worried for a second. I couldn't hear anybody.
It's a thing going around.
Yeah,
People key up their mic and don't say anything.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, I just need a mic check real quick, too.
We got
That's
you.
Frank. Thank you. Mic check. Transfer, please. Gotcha.
Appreciate it.
Alan's on all teams, so people talk over him sometimes.
Good luck, everybody.
On.
Good luck. Thanks for joining. Remember to be careful on the restarts and start in 2nd gear.
Alright, man.
Yeah, good luck, everybody.
Alright, man. Line up on the outside road now. Pit road is closed. Head to the 101 car.
Let's hope this gets off to a good start and turns into just as good of a race as Texas was. Texas would have been a fantastic race if I didn't feel so bad about the beginning of it. Just the 2 cautions that we had. I need to catch up a little bit. Ooh, people behind me be prepared to slow down. 2nd gear.
Get ready.
Oh, this is going to be fun. I'm excited for this
we're
one.
going green, guys. Let's catch the field.
Alright, man. Pace cars in.
Colton up on
Pace
pole
cars
again.
in.
Looking to get his 3rd win of the series.
Green, green, green.
And we are under green. Slow start, but everyone was ready for that, so that's good.
Stay high.
Now the track rubber from practice and qualifying did carry over, but I don't really think it's at 100% yet. I'm going to try and gain some track position here to start with, but I'm not going to be too aggressive or anything like that. I expect we're going to get a bunch of long runs, so I'm going to try and protect my tires as best as possible.
I'm sorry, Frank, didn't mean to pinch you.
It looks all good throughout the field in my windshield and my mirror. This is awesome. Hope we can continue. We got Chad here. Trying to get around Peter. See if we can follow him. I think this is going to be... I think Nick qualified the best that he has so far, but I think this is the first time he's actually tried to qualify, I think.
All clear, all clear.
So it'd be cool if he could get a good finish. I think everyone's expecting this one to be pretty dang clean. It should make for an awesome time. Obviously, this track is replacing Martinsville on the schedule. Some people were upset we're not running Martinsville, but you know what? That would have been 250 laps of caution, and I'm not interested in doing that. If you could bump at all in these cars, I would consider it. I still would probably replace it, but since you cannot make any contact in these cars without wrecking the guy usually, it's really, really hard for me to justify racing it at all. And that's just my opinion on that. But this is just such a fantastic track, and I love it every time we come here. I thought this would be a great replacement. And yeah. Also, something that may disappoint some people as well, Talladega has officially been replaced on the schedule. Just again with the bumping in these cars. We're going to be running Iowa. Oh, Chad into the wall.
Got one outside.
I think Iowa with these will be a lot of fun.
Outside.
There's going to be some multi-groove action, I imagine.
Stay low.
And I think the amount of power these cars have, it's going to make the bottom not so incredibly tough to pass
All clear,
with.
all clear.
So I'm excited for that one as well. I'm going to make that kind of like a day to night transition race, I think. So I'm looking forward to that one.
The lead is on 30.366.
I'm also thinking at the end of the season, after the final race, I don't know how much participation this will have, but I think at the end, to celebrate the end of the season and to kind of replicate what they did in real life, I want to race at Twin Ring Motegi for an exhibition race on the oval, because I think I love that track as well, and I think these would be great there. It could have won the vote for Iowa, but people preferred to run Iowa. They're making some contact up ahead. That was looking fairly scary. And I'm totally fine with Iowa.
I'm sorry, Tyler. I didn't want to do that.
That vote I put up, I was totally fine with pretty much every
Okay.
choice except keep Talladega. I don't think I was going to allow that to happen. But most people agree that it should be replaced. But any one of those, I even put Sonoma on there so we could, I mean, that makes the most sense probably to replace it with, since I've only decided to do Watkins Glen this season. I think every season, if I'm going to do subsequent seasons, I'm going to do just one road course for a shorter schedule like this. But obviously, I won't do Watkins Glen every time. I'll swap them out. Like next season, whenever that is, we'll do Sonoma.
Go ahead, Dan.
Just my thoughts. Assuming we continue with this league thing. But I don't see why we wouldn't. At this point, it's been a lot of
Thanks,
fun.
Alan. You bet.
And as I'm blabbing about, trying to move up through the field, trying to save some tires, we're about to catch Nicholas Wing here
Yeah, you better go too.
in his
Oh, okay.
Todd Bodine car, I believe. No, that's a Greg Biffle car, I think.
Thanks, buddy.
Ooh, he got loose.
You got it, man. Just not a pace I want to go at right now. I'm hanging on here.
Just clear high, clear high.
Also, next week will be an off week. I'm going to try and announce this in my next few videos, but I will be very, very busy next week. I'm going to be moving, and I don't know when I'm going to get my internet back up and running. I'm not moving until later in the week, so I should be able to get several races recorded Monday and Tuesday, but I will not have time to do this race. I don't know if I probably won't be able to do a truck race or the dirt race,
You're up in the top 20 now. Good job, man.
but that's why I put the off week for this season next week. So if you're looking for a race in this series next week, sorry, we're going to have to skip a week. But right now, schedule-wise, that's the only off week I got scheduled. I may or may not add another one. We'll see. I just don't think the dates will work out very good if I do add another one.
The leader is on 30 points.
But it'll be an off week next week, and then Auto Club, which I'm also very excited about with these cars. We're going to be going well over 200. And you're going to have multi-groove action there as well. It's going to be a fun stretch. I'm really looking forward to pretty much the rest of this season. Like, I think all these tracks we're going to be doing till the end of the season are going to provide some awesome racing. Watkins Glen is going to be an iffy one, but I imagine we're not going to get the participation to knock people out at qualifying, so I'm not too worried about my speed. But it's kind of fun to go to a road course and not just be a throwaway race like you would in officials, and because the strength of field would be so much lower, and it would be a drop week. Like, first of all, there's no drop weeks, and second of all, it's going to be worth the same amount of points as all these other races are going to be in this season, so I think it's going to be a fun challenge. Maybe get some road course ringers, or have Colton go lead the whole thing and win, since he's so good at road courses as well.
Taking the lead.
I think he's got like a 3,000 road I rating. It should be fun. I'm looking forward to this season. Looking forward to this season. I got ideas for future seasons. I've mentioned a couple on the Discord. I'm not 100% decided on anything, and we're still so early in this. So I'm not looking too far ahead, but a little bit. Trying to focus on these races as much as I can. Michael up on the high side. Let's see if we can follow these guys through on the bottom. All clean and green so far. This has been fantastic. Exactly what I thought we'd get. I'm
Stay low. There's a car
very happy
behind
for it. We just hurt the right front pretty bad right there, though.
you. All clear, all clear.
Nick's getting loose. We'll look to his inside,
Outside.
and we will crack the top 20. He gets down in line quickly behind us. And we're good to go. Slowly moving up. My race pace is always way, way better than my qualifying pace. I wonder if it's because I'm subconsciously saving tires. Well, my qualifying here was just, I was doing terrible. I just completely missed the corners. But I think usually my qualifying issues might be because I'm subconsciously saving tires on the qualifying. Like, I've got to go 200 more laps. Because that's usually how I race officials. And it usually works out because I can usually have pretty good tires. But for qualifying, you want to go as hard as possible regardless of the tires, because you only got 2 laps. Just something I'm not great at. Got a little bit loose out of turn 4 there. I think I see Nick. Is that Nick on the inside? Maybe not. Benjamin going a bit high, but we can't quite get there. We got a bit loose again. You can definitely get rotated onto the right rear with some throttle mid-corner. The really fast guys are going to be very, very close to even on their tires, I feel like. I'm probably going to be more on the right front because I'm not rotating it enough. Can't quite get the run to get underneath Benjamin. That's alright. Long, long ways to go. He's getting a bit loose out of the corners, but so am I. He may be close to even on that right rear. Just with the amount of sliding we're doing out of the corner. Can't quite get there. Try and get a good exit and get underneath him. He's just a bit better than us on exit right now. Oh, Steven in front of him caught the wall.
Got one outside.
See if we can take advantage.
You're clear high, clear high.
Benjamin entered a lot lower there, and that caused him to wash up a bit. So we'll see if we can take advantage of that as well. He just backs off for us. Thank you.
You're clear high, clear high.
That is Nick. He's running a bit different color. Looks like a... Didn't Kurt Busch run a car that looked like that? Maybe not. That's probably still a Ward Burton car. I think Nick's falling back a bit, but he might be saving tires pretty well. With this being such a long race, really gives it an NIS feel, I think. I love the feel of NIS races. I like the length of them and all the strategies and the time you put into them. It's just the racing's usually not that great. And you get a lot of people that are all take and no give, like you get anywhere in officials, really. I mean, that's always going to be the case. But this has been fantastic racing, this league. I've been enjoying it a lot. Really hesitant to start one. First of all, I didn't exactly know what I wanted to do. And I didn't really want to do any adminning or anything like that, or have to be mean to people if they're causing issues. But thankfully, I have not had to do much of that at all, and I've been very thankful and very lucky. And I really, really appreciate everyone for all the support, joining the races, watching them, all the comments. It's been absolutely amazing. Absolutely loving it.
Go ahead, John.
Even if I make really bad mental lapse mistakes. Ooh, Caden nearly caught the wall. He might have tapped it with the right rear. He's going to go wide here. I'm going to try and get low without ruining my right front. And we'll see if we can pass Nick, if we can even catch back up. Awesome stuff. Great start to this. We're going to have to be thinking about fuel pretty soon. We'll definitely be taking 4 tires. It's going to be the conveyor belt around Nashville Superspeedway. Nick might be saving a little bit of fuel as well to try and make it a bit further. Well, probably not too much, if at all. I don't know if saving this early would do much good. I think after Texas, though, I don't want to get too far off sequence from the leaders. And it's looking like we're just going to have to drive our way if we want top 10. We're going to have to make a bunch of passes. I don't think we're going to get many cautions to get us closer to some guys. It's getting a bit loose out of turn 4, though. We just did a faster lap than the leader by a little bit. Overdrove that pretty bad. Stop overdriving it. We're up to 15th. That's good. I'd be very happy to finish 15th. I would love to finish top 10, though. They're battling up ahead really hard, Tyler and Eric. Tyler's trying to make the pass. He's just getting a bit loose, I think, on exit. Now he might try and set up a run out of the corner. You know, maybe entering the corner a bit harder and using up that right front a bit might be good and take some of the pressure off the right rear, getting loose out of the corner. I don't know. That's sometimes a strategy in the ARCA series, but it's not something I've ever really tried or tested. My main focus usually is just save the right front as much as possible, because all the setups are usually pretty tight. Ooh, Nick enters a bit higher there. Still going to get a good exit, though. We're getting ready to have a 4-car battle on our hands, if I can tag on to the back of it. Nick's going to look to the outside on Tyler. I'll sneak underneath him if I can. Doesn't look like I'm going to. Eric nearly got the wall, it looked like. Try and get there. Oh, he's going to clear us. We're not even going to get to his inside before they exit. A little bit loose there. These guys are just a little bit quicker than me right now. They were battling, and that's why we caught them. I think all the time is going to be gained during the pit stop. We got a good exit that time. Nearly going to be able to get to his inside. Just not quite there.
Got one outside.
He stuck the nose in. He left us the lane.
Still there.
Try and get it off the corner. Should be able to clear him into turn 3.
Still there. What's the line? All clear, all clear.
We do. And since these cars aren't momentum based, even though we had a shallow entry, we should still be able to get off the corner to pull away. Up to 14th, happy with that. Now, do we pull a strategy play and pit at like lap 43 and then go 48 laps the rest of the runs? I don't know. Maybe for this first one we don't, just to see if anyone's going to spin coming on or off pit road. Uh-oh. Tyler just blinked out. He has not come back yet. That's not good. That's going to put us P13 if he doesn't ever come back. He's still not back. I think he just lagged out. That's unfortunate for him. That stinks. Looks like he's gone. Yeah, we're in 13th now. He just flat disappeared in front of us.
Would have been nice to get a heads up there, 67.
Sorry about that.
We're closer to the top 10. Still quite a ways away to Ryan, like 3 seconds.
Get on 10 feet.
Got some smoke entering pit road. Allen's on pit road now. This is awesome. When is pitting going to start? I need the leaders to announce when they're going to pit, and I'll pit right behind them. Allen pulling a strategy play, I think. Nick just had a terrible 3 and 4. Or he just slowing down to let us go. Don't know why he would do that, though. Tyler just now getting the lagged out thing. He was gone for a long time there. That's unfortunate for him. He's doing good in the points. He's got a bunch of... I think he missed a race, but up to that point, he'd completed like 99% of the laps. I'm fairly certain. Okay, we got some pit stops starting. When is Nick gonna pit? I don't want to let him pit too early on us. We're not going to want to wait too long after he goes. Oop, bit loose. Michael's pitting. What's the tire fall off look like? It's not that bad, honestly. Like, if we pit early, it probably wouldn't gain a whole lot.
My bad, Alan. Oh, that guy was pitting in front of us. Heads up, everybody. There's going to be a bunch of people pitting.
Yep. Need to be careful on that. I'm not too concerned about saving my tires now. We're very close to a pit stop. Do I try an early pit and hope we don't get a caution? I mean, there are lucky dogs. There's not going to be that many people on a lap down.
I'm pitting in, 38 pitting in.
Okay, we're going to pit. I'm going to try and let Nick know. Think he got the message?
Got one outside. Still there. All clear, all clear.
58 pitting, this time by.
A little bit early. Don't know if that's going to be good. Probably won't be that big of a difference.
3, 2, 1.
If I can find my pit stall.
Alan, Chad.
68-64. So that's okay, I guess.
Chuck pitting.
That's it, go.
See if this gets us anything.
Pitting in here, pitting in.
Colin's pitting now. Gotta be real careful getting off pit road.
20, I'm going to pit this lap.
Real careful getting off pit
34
road.
coming in, 34 coming in.
Outside. The leader is pitting now. You're clear high.
18 pitting.
Alright. Decent stop. Good on and off. Fairly good. Run a bit wider here in case people are pitting in front of us. Gonna get a big run on Ronald in the 8.
71 pitting.
Got one outside.
5 pitting this time. 5 pitting this.
75 pitting.
55.42 for Colton.
33.
Ours were in the
and this time.
60s.
99 pitting this
But
lap.
Colton obviously doing much better than we are on speed still. So that kind of tells me I should be driving a bit harder. Potentially. Another thing we should probably try and do is lead a lap at some point. We have not led a lap at all this season. So maybe we stay long green. Try to be the last one to pit one time. Maybe not this race, but sometime in the future. I'd love to lead a lap and get some bonus points.
Got the warning for the right front. Here.
I don't know if we ever will be able to, but we'll try. See when Nick pits. We're gonna get around JP. Pretty sure he was ahead of us before we pit. Nick should come out around us somewhere. Ryan was 3 seconds ahead before we pit, so now he's 2.5, so we actually gained a little bit on him.
86 down by 80.
I don't know if we're on the lead lap or not. I think that worked out just fine for us, though. We should at least be back to 12th or 13th or whatever. Now the pit window is not really big enough for Nick
39.
to go super long. Like he could go maybe 5 or 6 laps longer than we did. So it's not going to be a huge difference. Nick led a lap. That's what he was doing. He just now pit. That's a good idea. I could have done that, but I decided to pit a bit early, see if I can gain some time. We're up to 11th now. Kevin right in front of us. We have a Leighton behind us. We know he's fast. First round of pit stops done. When did we pit? 44 probably? 44, 45?
Alright, looks like you're in the top 10.
We pit at 93 to 96. Maybe. We're up to 10th though, pitting a couple laps early. Got us a couple spots. But a Leighton is catching us. Got some smoke, but I don't see a spin. I think people are just locking it up, getting on. Get around Nicholas Wing. We're now in P9.
Car 36 has taken the lead.
And Colton's back to the lead. Whoa, a Leighton took some of the air off of us. I'm just going to give it to him.
Got one outside. Stay low, there's a car on the high side. All clear, all clear.
Try to give it to him before the corner. That didn't work out too good. Now we got Warren behind us. He took some of the air off my spoiler and it got me loose. He's obviously much quicker, so I don't need to hold him up right now. I wonder if we just drive a bit harder this run. If we can, even. Warren's going to catch us. And there's Billy behind him. Alan getting the lap down. I think we're back on the lead lap now.
30.526. Hitting your mark.
Which lane is he going to be in? He's going top, I think. Potentially. I think he'll stay high. He's got some right rear damage.
Got one outside. You're clear high, clear high.
Warren is still catching us. And Billy is not far behind him either. And we're loose.
You know I'm not the leader. You're already lapped, so you racing me for a second doing nothing, but I'm going full away.
Tracy's getting held up by somebody. Awesome first run we're having. This could be the only run. We could go green to the
I'll
end.
let you have it here in turn 1, Chuck.
Never know.
Thank you, man.
Billy has gotten around Warren now. Billy was doing a great job of keeping it on the right rear at Texas. Almost too good of a job. So I imagine he's doing pretty good here. And of course he is. He's top 10 now. Layton's pulling away though. Kevin's pulling away. I just don't have that firing off speed really. I don't know if I'll be able to catch him long run either. But I think our tire situation could afford to drive a bit harder, and that's what I'm kind of doing. Or at least attempting to. Still getting caught. So the weather for this race, I based off the Busch race that raced here for the year that I'm basing the schedule off of. And I was watching the beginning of that, and it's amazing
Inside.
how different NASCAR is now.
Still there. Clear low, clear low.
Like, on lap, I don't know, 12 or something, somebody spun into the infield, like completely spun out into the infield, and he was running like top 10. No caution. They did not throw a caution for that. Like, he spun it, turned it around, drove through the entire infield grass, got back on the track, got going with the leaders coming up behind. They stayed green the whole time. Like, can you imagine if they did that today? People would be so mad that they didn't throw the caution for that. It's crazy. I wish they'd go back to that. I mean, obviously, there is safety issues involved, but for stuff like that, I don't think there was much issue. Like, he didn't hit anything, he just spun out of the corner. Billy hit the wall there. But they're so trigger happy with the cautions. I wouldn't mind that so much if they got rid of the freaking stage cautions. I want to see racing for like long runs. You just don't get that anymore with the stage cautions. Like, if they took those away and just, like, they can award points for the stage, but do like they do on road courses, don't throw a yellow for it, you'd still get hard racing in the middle of people trying to get those points. And it'd be even added strategy, like, well, you know that they're not necessarily going to get brand new tires after racing hard for this stage. Maybe they don't want to push too hard to save this stage point. Maybe they want to save tires for the long run. Or maybe you're going to push hard for the stage point anyway, and then maybe you compromise your long run because you push so hard in the middle trying to get stage points. I think it would open up some really interesting stuff. I don't know, they might do green flag pit stops right around stage cautions anyway, or where the stages are. But as it is now, it's race till the first stage, pit on the first stage caution.
Thank you.
I mean, it's just it's so little, so much less strategy involved now.
Inside.
Maybe it's not less, maybe it's just different, I don't know. I just hate artificial entertainment. It's like any sports where they try to manufacture excitement really ticks me off. Like, they do all that. They've done so much crap to baseball to change the rules to make it more exciting, and it's just really been frustrating. But I guess it's like that for all sports. I go back and watch old races, like races from like 1991 or something, and they're going green for like 240 laps, and it's exciting, it's fun to watch. Warren was gonna look to my inside, but he backed off. And I don't know how much of that is nostalgia factor or me just liking those cars and the way those cars race better,
That car is a lap down.
or what, but I really enjoy watching those races. But I like all old school stuff anyway, I guess. I don't know. I know a lot of fans, especially newer fans, like the way it is now and like everything like that. I'm really old school in terms of pretty much everything. I'm just going to give this to Warren. He wants to look to my inside, but he doesn't want to throw in a move, but he's clearly quicker than us. I'll just give it to him. Still very early. We got 120 laps to go. Yeah, no problem.
Go ahead, Dakota.
We'll ride around in 10th for a bit, or 11th rather.
Thanks, Rick.
Nick is back in 13th,
Yeah, but-
3.5 back. So he's not doing bad, even after staying out long. The lap times for the tires were not that bad, so we could really stay out pretty much that whole time and not lose that much. Like Nick lost 3 seconds, which is not that bad considering. Completely below turn 3 there. We have a big gap though behind us to Zachary, who's a lap down, and then Chuck 2.7 back. We're gonna grab the wall on entry. Guess we're running the high side this corner. I meant to do that. Only a matter of time for that. We're not the only ones we've seen get the wall though, so I'm not too concerned. I just does not look like I got top 10 speed. Alright, we're not going to want to pit super early for the rest of this race, or we're not going to be able to make it to the end, based on my calculations. Like I said, I really need to be like lap 96 or later for this run. Don't think I've done good things with my tires. Chuck and Nick are both catching up. I think I'm going to move the brakes back if I can, without dragging the wall. Just go all the way back. Help out entry a little bit, maybe.
The leader just did a 31.5.
31.54 from the leader. What are we going to do here? 31.486. So we're all slightly quicker than the leader is right now. Like Nick and Chuck are both catching us. I mean, it's not a big enough difference to mean anything from this far back. Ryan up there going high. He might have missed the corner a bit. Let's see who's leading this thing, if we can find him. Probably Colton, I would guess. And it is by a huge margin. Colton trying to dominate this season. He's doing a great job to start. Imagine if he wins this, he'll take the points lead, no problem. Especially with the lead lap bonus and the lead the most laps bonus. If he can get that, which it looks like he's going to be able to. We were drifting around that corner. Not feeling as good this run as I did the first run. That's alright. Peter is pitting. He's in the grass a bit, but I think he's going to get it on the pit road. We are loose down the straightaway as I'm looking out my mirror. Chuck is catching us pretty fast, and so is Nick.
We'll let you do the next one again.
Thanks.
Outside.
Lance letting us go.
Stay low.
I'm trying to get around him.
All clear, all clear.
No problem there. He was out of the way perfectly. Much appreciated. Eric is already on pit road again. I don't think that's a scheduled stop. Something might have happened to him. That's unfortunate if so. Oh, and he had to quit. Oh no, I wonder if something came up. Early retirement for one of the points contenders. He might have gotten damaged or something. Chuck is within a second now. We've really dropped off the pace. Well, they're just super fast behind us. We're going to lose. We're going to go back to 13th, it looks like. I think Chuck and Nick are going to be able to pass us before the pit stop. I just have no turn on exit. I think we just hurt the tires too early. Pushing a bit too hard. That's all right. We'll hold on as long as we can. They are coming very fast. They've definitely done a much better job at saving tires. Got some traffic ahead, way far ahead. Pulling away, I imagine. Nick, we know, has like 8 lap better tires than we do. I wouldn't think that'd make a huge difference, especially with the lap times, but maybe it has. I think most likely we're just we've been worse on the tires this run. Chuck, I don't know what tires he's on when he pit, but he's generally just very fast. Much faster than we are. .4 to him, .8 to Nick. Ryan is 2 seconds ahead. I followed him into the pits basically, so we're on the same tires. So we've kind of equalized, maybe. I'm just getting such bad exits right now. Just overdriving the corner, I think.
Hey Dakota, this is Alan. I'm going to pit on the next time around.
Go ahead, 99.
Let's say hi.
People are going to start pitting, it sounds
Well,
like.
never mind it.
Thanks, Alan.
Ahead of me now. So Matthew, I'm pitting in 67 pitting in.
We're going to go like another 10 laps,
Big thank you.
I believe. Yeah, we can go 12 more. I think we're just going to run this tank empty, see what that gets us. And we're going to have a couple more stops after this, so we got time to try things.
31.632.
Ryan's back to pulling away on us. He must have just been getting past. That's why we caught him a bit. I don't know what we're going to be able to do to get into the top 10 and stay there. They just all seem way too quick. I'm not quick enough. This is probably not the run I want to be going long on because we're not doing very good. Like, we're falling back. First run I was moving forward. That should have been the run I went long and tried to lead a lap. I'm not trying to lead a lap this time, but I'm going to try and run the tank pretty empty. Probably not going to work out so good. I am just drifting up on exit, losing a bunch of time. Try and just wrap that yellow line, not get too loose. Oh, it's just so tight in 3. He's gaining a ton on us into turn 3.
Sorry about that.
We're going to overdrive this. Yeah, we're not going to be able to hold him off at all. So he got a bit loose there. If he gets a run, we won't fight him too hard, but I'm not going to just pull over for him. Or anybody else. I don't want to fight him too hard, though. That's just going to get Nick up here closer.
Bottom here.
Keep overdriving 1. He's going to get us on exit here, I bet. Yep, he's going to go low.
Inside. Stay high.
Back off early for him.
All clear, all clear.
Try to get in line, not let Nick get by us. If we can help it. We got to keep an eye out in case Chuck pits a bit later than we do. But of course he pit later. I think he pit later than we did the first time, so he can go a bit longer than we can. I assume he did. I don't know exactly.
The leader just did a 31.93.
31.9 from the leader. We're doing 32.0s. So yeah, we did not take care of that tire, and there's the apron.
Got one outside.
Something I need to not do. See if we can hold Nick off.
Still there? Hold your line.
I don't know if we'll be able to. We'll probably be able to pass us on the outside.
Stay low.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no problem.
You're clear high, clear high.
No problem there. I didn't think it'd be that easy to get around me on the outside.
Stay high here, John.
Thank
That's
you.
alright.
Got about 5 left.
5 left on fuel. We're gonna go pretty long here, as I said. Almost empty.
There, Kevin.
Got somebody slow on the front stretch on the bottom. May have
pitting
clipped
here,
the apron like
Matthew.
me. We've fallen back to 13th. I think we're just a 13th place car. We're going to try and do a little bit better on tires next time. But we are within 100 laps to go. Isn't that exciting? All green. Just now to halfway, actually.
The car behind you, pitting.
We're in P12 now. See, Nick was behind us
Pitting in.
before we pit. And
38 pitting in. 38 pitting in.
the difference on the tires was just so
75 pitting.
small that he was able to come up and pass us before we pit
14
this
pitting.
time. So, Chuck's pitting.
18 pitting.
I'm going to lap 96.
16 pitting.
This time not.
If I can.
Top man. The car behind you, pitting.
Probably not a good idea considering how bad I've been running out here. But that's what we're doing. Alright, we're going to pit next time. Just run the tank out, basically. We're going to have to hope that we can get it onto pit road without an issue. But yeah, we have to pit next time, and we got faster car approaching on new tires. We're going to stay high for them.
Pitting in here, pitting in.
Got one inside. The car behind you is pitting. All clear, all clear.
99 pitting, 99 pitting.
Colton's
Go high.
pitting.
Right front tire is wearing out.
Yeah, right front's destroyed. Oh, we're going to get around Ian.
Got one inside. The leader
I'm
is
pitting
down.
Ian.
Clear low, clear low. Don't forget to pit this lap to hold fuel. Got one outside. All clear, all clear.
29 pitting.
Alright. Had to make sure he knew because he was going to be coming really fast on those new tires.
12 pitting this time.
Box in 5, 3,
We got up to 6th
2,
there.
1. Car 12 has taken the lead. Right
Tires
here.
that time were 49.53, much worse.
Pitting, one pitting.
That's alright.
58, pitting in this time.
Alright, that's it. Go. The leader is pitting now.
Never mind, I missed it.
Oh no. Decent stop. Decent entry. See if we can get a good exit. Or a decent exit.
Well, that was fun. 86 pitting stand by. 86.
Hopefully we can. So hard to know how fast we can go.
5 cars pitting this time.
And I don't want to slam it.
Hey, John, how's my front look?
Still at minus
Close,
3%
yeah.
brakes. That's probably going to be fine though.
It looks clean to me.
Alright.
You say it looks
There's
clean.
Warren.
I got wheel damage.
Just ahead of us. Coming out of the pits,
Gonna
I
have
think.
to go.
Oh my gosh, terrible. I need to slow down earlier for the corners. We're going to get by Warren, actually. I don't think we're going to be too far back.
Truck, I'll give it to you.
Thank you, man.
As I said, we are... there's not a huge difference on the tires when you pit. I don't even know if we pit that late compared to everyone. People who pit late the first time, if they're going long again, they're going to be going for quite a while. Longer than we could. See if we get around Michael, who just got a bit loose.
Got one inside. Clear low, clear low.
He gets out of the way. I wasn't sure. He got loose. I wasn't sure if I'd have room to go low or not. He kept it kind of low. So back to P13 now, which is cool.
86 pitting stand by. 86 stand by.
So we should be good. John's pitting. We'll run high for him.
The leader is pitting now.
Leader just now pit. That was Nick leading another lap.
121 pit.
And he's going to have quite a bit better tires than we do coming out.
Take the bottom here, Benjamin.
Warren back behind us again, but we've seen he's much quicker than we are, so I imagine we'll be letting him by. I'm going to try and do a little bit better on right front this run. If I can.
The car in front is pitting.
Nick's just coming off pit road now, I think. Yeah. We did not do good things to the right front that first run, that's for sure. I think we're going to need one more stop and should be able to make it to the end.
To the 30.27. The car in front is pitting.
So we'll need to get it to lap like 140 at the earliest. Maybe we pit at lap 140 exactly.
Alright, man, that car is a lap down.
should be able to.
Damage I got, it ain't hurting me. Nah, I'm just slow.
Warren's just too fast. We can't hold him off. I'm trying everything I
How'd you get
can
damaged?
to save tires. But it seems like he's able to and
Lapper down there going like 50 or 60.
be
and
fast.
I just went to go swoop to the outside and I misjudged it. Luckily I didn't wreck him. Just wasn't trying to lose a bunch of time from going fully on the outside. Just trying to pick up as much time on Ian as I could. Really gotta stop playing it risky with lappers.
P11 now. Got Bryce and Grady up ahead who are a lap down. Not on the same lap though. Warren's had a couple scary moments behind us, I think, with the wall nearly. So we pulled away from him just a touch. I'm getting loose out of the corner, but that's probably good.
That car is a lap down.
P11. I would love to finish top 10. I just don't know how we are going to be able to get there unless we just pit right on lap 40 and try to go to the end. But then people at the end will probably be much better than us. I don't know. It's going to be a tough call. It's going to be a tough call. Ryan is still ahead of us. We're into the wall because I'm looking at that.
Inside.
And he's 3.5 ahead, but now he's going to be like 4 seconds ahead.
I saw that, Gavin.
Yeah, I was looking at F3.
Hey, me too. That's how I was speeding on pit road.
It can happen. Alright, we'll try and follow Warren. Nick is behind us by 4.5 seconds.
The lead is
First
2
car
30,
for position behind us anyway.
9.
Oh, Warren got a big push. He's clobbering the wall.
Outside.
No need to copy me.
All clear, all clear.
Look, we're taking turns now.
No.
Does that mean I'm next?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're trying to copy me. It's not working out. He lost a lot of time there. I don't think he got much damage though. He'll probably be able to get back up here. I need to stop overdriving it. I gotta stop. Steven's coming up. He might be on newer tires. He looks pretty quick.
Alright, man, that car is a lap down.
Close battle ahead. Not for position though. We're just gonna let Steven have this.
You got one inside. That car is
No
a
reason to
lap
hold
down.
him up.
Stay high. All clear, all clear.
Hopefully he just pull away now. He overdrove it, but should still be able to get off the corner. I'm okay with it getting loose out of the corner with how bad the right front was last run. I think I've been doing a little bit better this run of backing up the corners. A little bit anyway. 3 seconds back to Nick. Got Grady letting Steven go by. We're not quite to him yet. He's letting us by, thank you.
Got one outside. That car is a lap down. Go there, hold your line. All
Try and
all
clear without pushing up too much and wrecking myself. But that was no problem there.
I believe you just did a 31.073.
31.0, that's what we did last time as well. So I think we're doing all right on pace. Just gonna be long run. What are we gonna be? How many more laps of fuel can we do? 32. That'll put us like 148. Do I want to pit at 148? Or do I want to try and undercut some people? I just don't think the undercut's going to gain us enough, and I think at the end we're going to be so much worse unless we do a lot of saving, which we can probably do. I don't know. Nick has been going long the first two pit stops. I imagine he'll go long again. He's back in 13th. We're ahead of him right now. Maybe if we can get some track position, it's just going to be so much harder to pass. We can maybe hold him off at the end. Though the people that have been quicker than us behind us have been able to get around us pretty easily. Thank you to Bryce, letting us go.
Go ahead, 8.
Got a bunch of lap cars up ahead. Lap down to us anyway. No idea where 10th place is, who I assume is Ryan. Still. Ian Warren, I have a pretty good race right here. Whoever can hit the wall the least, it looks like. We're tied at the moment, I think. Well, I think I hit the wall before. Early on. I did into turn 1, so maybe I'm leading 2-1. Alright, last 2 corners we overdrove really bad. We need to stop that. Actually pulling away from Warren a bit now.
Pitting in, 67, pitting in.
Allen's pitting. We lose a little bit of time there. Unfortunately. We're still alright though.
That car is a lap down.
Doing pretty good. I can't believe we're still green. Well, I can actually. It's just amazing. It's so awesome we can get races like this. This track, though, has the reputation to just be super, super clean. So, I was expecting maybe 1 or 2 cautions like Texas, but
Colin's gonna dominate this thing again if we don't get a yellow. That's all I'm praying for this whole race.
I don't know if we're gonna get one.
Because no one put dirt on the truck this time.
I don't know if we're gonna get a yellow. Alright, Nick is already 1.6 back. He's just so much quicker on his newer tires. Like if we pit on lap 140 and not like 148, I feel like the speed difference is going to be so much that he'll be able to come back and pass us at the end. Get a run underneath Jordan here.
Outside. low, there's a car on the high side. All clear, all clear.
Oh, we slide up a bit. Not exactly what I wanted there. It's alright. Nothing he did wrong, I just overdrove it on his inside.
Alright, man, that car is a lap down.
It's going to be really hard for us to finish anything better than 11th or, you know, honestly P13. I think we're a 13th place car, I really do. The Warren has fallen off a little bit this run. I think that wall hit and maybe he's pushed a little too hard on his right front. They were able to keep ahead of him. But somebody spun or just going on into pit road maybe. Don't see a car. But there was definitely smoke. Thought I saw tire tracks, but maybe I didn't. A little bit loose. We got Dan here, racing the guy for position right in front of him.
Thanks, Frank.
No problem. Go get him.
Nick is almost within 1 second now. His strategy's working out pretty good for him. Ours isn't doing too bad, but I think his is going to wind up beating us, unfortunately. Dan goes high for us, thank you.
Outside. Stay low, there's a car on the high side.
We get a fairly decent exit still.
All clear, all
Watch out for
clear.
that dang apron.
Lap down.
Ryan, I think, is looking high to let us go. We're not quite to him yet.
Damn it, Benjamin, you should have took him out.
Good, Chad.
Outside.
Now we get underneath him.
Still there.
Thank you.
All clear, all clear. That car is a lap down.
Stop overdriving it when I'm passing somebody. Ryan is 2.1 ahead, so I think we have caught him a bit. We're doing a little bit better this run than last run, which is what I wanted. I need Warren to hold up Nick a little bit. Slow him down. When is Nick gonna pit? Like 150 maybe? Close to 150 perhaps?
Sorry, I got loose.
We got like 15 to go before we pit, or so I think we're not gonna pit at 140. I'd like to have a little bit better tires at the end. What does fuel look like? We can go 147, 148, like I thought. I think our goal is going to just try and beat Nick, so I think we have to try and go long here and not let him get too far away from us. Because if we pit early, it's going to just, like, the end of the race is going to look just like this, him catching us, probably going to be able to get around us right before we end it. He's going to be able to pass us probably before we pit. I imagine.
34 should be just fine.
The leader just did a 31.727.
We're about to 50 laps to go. I don't know if anybody can make it from here,
give you the bottom
55. Nick really overdrove at that time behind us. He pushed out pretty wide. Needs to keep doing that. Let us pull back away from him. Maybe our tires equalized a bit. A little bit loose there out of the corner. We overdrove it. Ryan is getting passed by Steven up ahead. We're catching Ryan, just not quickly.
Pass low.
Not quickly at all. So I think he did just grab the wall a bit. Got Dakota coming out on new tires.
That car is a lap down.
We should be able to just take off. I doubt we'll even get to him. Nick's falling back a little bit now. Our tires may have equalized. Ryan just got huge loose out of 4. Did Nick just pit? Really? That is interesting. That makes me want to pit. That makes me want to pit. We can't go too much longer. I think we're going to have to pit at 140 now at the latest. Oh, I don't know. Do we stay the course? Do we go long? He's going to be able to pull out ahead of us pretty far. But it's not going to be extreme, and we're going to be in the situation where we're catching him at the end. And we're catching Ryan here. I think we stay out. Just see how this works. Though he's going to have to...
bottom here.
Like, we're going to have to be the ones trying to pass now, and it's not going to be easy to make the pass. I expected him to go long again. But he may have been going long those first 2 runs to try and have a long run. Like, be able to pit early in the final pit stop. But I think since we're still moving forward, I think we're going to be able to catch him at the end like he was to us for those first 2. I think we just stay the course here and have better tires at the end. We're not going to lose that much position-wise. I mean, we're going to lose a little bit. Let's see how this works. First, we got to get around Ryan, who's fallen off a bit. Get up into the top 10, perhaps. Though I'm not sure it's going to be easy to pass him either. He seemed to be struggling on entry, though, like we were first or that last time. He's able to kind of pull away on exit.
Gonna pit this lap, Kevin. Pit the forfeit, man.
John's pitting. Other people are pitting. I'm going to go for the pass.
Outside. Good job, man. You're in the top 10.
Good again.
job, man. Stay low. All clear, all clear. That car is a lap down.
People are starting to pit.
Still pitting.
People are starting to pit. I think we can't wait very long. Let's pit next time. Ryan's pitting. Whew, I don't know if this is going to work out for us. Let's pit next time
I'm pitting in here, pitting in.
with Colton.
You're in third place.
29.50.
People were pitting a lot earlier than I expected.
Wow, well this is a battle for second.
The leader is hitting now.
Alright, we're pitting this time. We can't go too long
Hitting this
compared to
lap,
everyone else.
Just did a Tokyo drift into the pits. That was a heart-sinking moment.
Don't speed.
Pit box team.
Chuck
5,
disconnected. What happened to
3,
him?
2, 1. Right here.
Tires that time. 62.62. That was much better.
Yeah, my bad, Gordon. I didn't realize they were coming in.
It's just an awkward spot there. We're good.
That's it. Go.
Alright. How's this going to work out? Don't speed. Nick is going to be able to get in front of us. Are we going to be able to track him down and beat him, though? Like, here he comes right now. That's going to be a big gap to make up. But we're going to have much better tires.
Be mindful. You only have one set of
Oh,
tires
we will
left.
see.
The car behind you is pitting. Alright, man. That car is a lap down.
You got a huge gap to us, though. JP,
Outside.
the leader, we should be able to pass
all
him.
clear, all clear. Outside. All clear, all clear.
As long as I don't overdrive it. I think Nick is too far out ahead. I don't think we're going to be able to get to him. I think he played it right.
The leader did a 31.
I think we're going to wind up like 14th or something. Are we one lap down or no laps down? I don't even know.
Outside. You're clear high.
Get around Allen. Let's see. We passed Ryan somehow. Ryan's behind us. We are on the lead lap. We just did our fastest lap of the race.
You're losing on the car in front. The gap is 4.2.
We're apparently losing on the car in front. Which is... I have no idea. It's a Leighton. Nick is up in 6th. 5.5. He's not that far ahead, but I think that's going to be too much. I think that's going to be too much to make up. We'll see. I'm going to be going pretty hard. We're in 11th right now. I don't know if there's anybody that still has to pit. I'd love to be top 10 though, since we passed Ryan. Oh man, I don't think we did it right. We should have pit
pitting this time. 5 pitting this time.
right after Nick did. That's going to put us 10th. I really thought about pitting early too, but I was thinking 140 and Nick pit on like 136.
The leader is pitting now.
You know, Nick might have a little worse tires than the people ahead of him, or the people behind him, I mean. And people, they might try and pass him, and he might get held up on the outside, so maybe we'll have a chance to catch up. I don't know, we're not going to have a huge chance, I don't think. We're running out of time, we got 40 to go.
36 has taken the lead.
I'm doing the fastest laps I've done all day here. Try and get around Allen sometime. He's going to let us have it.
Alright man, that car is a lap down. Go there, hold your line. You're clear
Get
high,
around
clear
Steven
high.
as well.
That car
Our Leighton's
is a lap
3.5 ahead.
down. Alright, looks like you're in the top 10.
Good grief, I can't do that much. Push hard, but don't spin out. Big group of cars up ahead. Nick might be in that. Primary goal is to try and beat him, but at least we're in the top 10 now. We might be able to stay in the top 10. Get us a decent finish here. or a really good
Well,
finish.
it's tough on the body when it goes green like this.
The leader just did a 30.478.
Guess it's tough mentally because this 2 weeks in a row I've got a speeding penalty on the last lap or last pit stop.
Oh, that stinks.
You got one outside. Stay low, there's a car on the high side.
He was
All
doing
clear,
good
all
both
clear.
times, too. That's unfortunate for him. All right, Nick is 2.8 ahead. He's falling back to 9th. We are going to have a race, and it's going to be close.
I'm pitting here. I'm pitting.
If I can catch him. We're going to have a close finish, I imagine. That strategy definitely worked out for him, though, right now. I don't think he's going to fall much further than 10th. He was running 12th and 13th the whole day, basically. Right around we were. I don't think Ryan is going to be close enough to get to him, but he might be. Nick might be falling back a little bit further than I thought on his older tires.
67 sitting in.
Double check we're good on fuel. We should definitely be, or just barely good. Nick might have to save. That's closer than I thought it was. Two seconds to him.
That car is a lap down.
36.2. We're gonna have 34 to go. All right, we're good. Perfect on fuel. Got some smoke out of the corner. That's
That car is a lap down.
Steven.
I'm glad that didn't cause caution.
Yeah, you must have gotten loose on exit on new tires.
Same. I love green runs, and it gets to a certain point where you need a caution to do any racing. Everybody's just so far apart.
Hey, inside yours, John.
Thanks.
1.4 to Nick. Watch the wall. I keep looking at
I'll give you the bottom one here.
keep looking at the F3 on the exit of 2, and that's not smart.
Inside in 1 and 2, Kevin.
We are catching him. But he's not going to be an easy pass to make. But I think we're going to have enough laps to set something up. I just can't burn up my tires before we get there. Pushing too hard to catch him. Got to keep just being smooth.
The leader just did a 30.9.
Ryan is pretty far back. I think we've been able to pull away from him as well. Chad is coming. I think he's on new tires, it looks like.
Go ahead, pass me.
Chad's coming fast. Hopefully we don't lose too much if we have to let him by. He might be able to get around Nick as well, so doesn't look like we're going to lose much at all. He's got so much more grip out of the corner. Well, he's not quite here yet. I don't want to just lift for him because I got Nick right in front of me that I want to catch.
Inside.
Ooh, man.
That car is a lap down. Stay high. All
Did not
clear,
expect him
all
to dive it in like that, but that's all right. We didn't lose that much.
That car is a lap down. You got one outside.
Get around Nick King.
You're clear high. Clear high.
0.6 to Nick.
Alright, man. That car is a lap down.
Chad's going to go to his outside, pinch his exit. It's going to help us. And it's going to pinch his entry. A little bit loose there. We got Nick behind us. We just passed him. We don't have to worry about seeing him in the mirror. Should get a good enough run. We can maybe look to his inside. Barely.
Outside. Stay low. Stay low.
Should be able to make the pass. Tires are just a little bit better.
Stay low. There's a car on the high side. You're clear high. Clear high.
Oh, that was a terrible corner.
Got one inside.
Should be able to hold him off still.
All clear.
I got like a
all
weird
clear.
wiggle. Missed the entry.
Take the inside 1-2, Caden.
Wasn't trying a slide job. We're actually catching Billy. He's in 8th and I'm in P9. Super awesome. What a race. Fantastic stuff. I love this league. It's been fantastic. There's been mistakes and there's been some issues, but it's been absolutely amazing.
The lead is just did a 31.073.
We got 25 laps to go. We have one set of tires left in case there is a caution. I would love this to be 187 laps of green flag racing, though. That would be just amazing. Where else can you get this? It's awesome stuff. Got some smoke out of turn 4 again. We've seen a lot of that. Could just be people getting loose on exit. We haven't really caught Billy last couple laps that much. He's getting better exits than we are, I think. Oh, he just got loose though. And Timothy is trying to pass him now. We're going to gain some time on him.
I'm so sorry.
That's alright. I was trying not to pass Nick. I'm already lapped down.
Yeah, I think I'm like 7 laps down.
Stupid pit road penalty.
I'm up to 2 tonight.
All of a sudden, we got a bunch of cars in front of us. I don't know how many are for position.
Thank you, 20.
We're catching Billy. I thought Nick's strategy was going to work better. I thought he was going to be able to hold on a lot better.
Pass low, Michael.
But it doesn't seem like with the lap times that new tires should be that big of a difference, but it clearly is. Newer tires. Just got so much more grip and turn. Like it's still a second and a half faster on new tires, so I guess that's pretty significant still. But it doesn't seem like it's as much as a place like Darlington or something. Or old Atlanta. Big run on Billy here. We're gonna look low. I don't think he was gonna try and fight us too hard for that.
Sorry, Chad, don't want you by early. I just had to head up the right end this time.
See if we can pass him. Let's not overdrive it on his inside like we have pretty much every time we've been on the inside. 20 laps to go.
Stay low. There's a car on the high
He
side.
overdrove center, but still gonna get a decent exit. Maybe. Nope, we clear him.
All clear. All clear.
We're up to P8. This is great. A Leighton 1.5 ahead. I see him. Oh, contact maybe right ahead of us.
31.336.
Maybe not. Timothy and Dakota are racing for position right here in the top 20.
The 12th place car just lapped the 19th place car. That's kind of funny looking.
That's what happens when you get green flag racing. We'll look low here.
Got one outside. Stay low. There's a car on the high side. Stay low.
Get around him. without too much trouble.
Still there. All clear, all clear.
Oh my
Got one
gosh.
outside.
Oh my gosh, I did not expect him to be that slow on entry. I was not expecting to catch him there.
All clear,
I may
all
have just
clear.
blown the corner, I don't even know.
Got one outside.
Luckily we didn't run into
Still
him.
there.
Billy's trying to get around lap cars there. They're racing us very hard here, but they are also racing for position. He backs off there. They're racing the race just like we're racing a race. Not wanting to lose any time. Billy's back in a hornet's nest now.
Alright, man, that car is a lap down.
I don't know if we're going to have enough laps to do anything with the Leighton. We're catching them. I don't know if we're going to be able to catch them quick enough. I'm so happy we're in P8. This is fantastic. Didn't think I'd be able to crack the top 10. I think pitting later on that final stop really paid off, because we're still pulling away and catching people ahead of us.
Good save. Good save.
Oh, I gotta change my shot.
Steven's coming quick again. Hopefully find a place to not lose too much time. We'll be able to get us here.
Got one inside.
I'm not going to lift.
Still there. Hold the line.
I'll lift early on entry.
That car is a lap down. Stay high. All clear, all clear.
So we don't lose that much. 1.3, yeah, we're just not catching him quick enough. He does have a lot of traffic ahead of us, or ahead of him.
507. Got one outside. All clear, all clear.
A little bit loose. He nearly caught the wall. Traffic ahead of him, maybe we'll catch him. Still 1.2 though.
I'm gonna say hi, JP.
Are we going to be able to get to P7? I don't know.
Clear.
Not if we overdrive turn 1 like that.
Appreciate it.
Oh, this is looking dicey.
That car is a lap down.
Should be able to get Eric on exit here. Or on entry.
All right, man.
Oh my gosh.
Caution is out. Line
Thank
single
God.
file. Pit road is closed.
No, the race is almost over.
Whew. Dang.
Now it's at least a battle for the lead.
How's this going
Or
to turn out
both
now?
way, but... Alright, we gotta
Huh.
get the pace car, guys.
We're at the pit, I guess. This is going to be restart.
Car sideways off, turn 4, be careful.
Man, that's not what I wanted to see. We were moving up.
As much as I didn't want to see that, I'm kind of happy. My hands hurt so bad.
Pedal to the floor, lappers. We gotta catch up.
Yeah, that was insane. I'm really sore already.
10 to go at the line. Pit road is now open.
They start in 3.
We got to go.
Yeah, see, it's not my hands, it's my ankles that are,
Keep the pedal on it.
Is Colton going to pit? Is anyone going to pit?
Alright, thank you.
How many people are on the lead lap?
It's the 32 car.
13. I think we're going to pit.
Oh, gotta go, guys. Go, go, go,
Yeah,
go,
everyone's
go.
pitting. Okay. think we all got a pit there,
Pit box
Lucky
in
dog coming
5,
high.
3, 2,
because there's going to be a restart.
right here.
Tires, 75, 76. Can we get off pit road?
How did I enter a closed
Decently.
pit?
That's it, go.
You're a lap down, probably.
Don't speed.
You're absolutely right.
Get out ahead of Nick
It's
and
been
Billy.
Too many green flag laps. I kind of lost how
We
many
do.
I'm down right now.
Unfortunately, short run, I don't know if I'm quicker than any of these guys.
The rest of the race. Line up single file. It's the 12 car past the
I
23.
think crew let me down.
Oh no, did he lose the lead? Oh no. Oh man.
I couldn't tell you how happy I am that came out.
12 car.
This is going to be interesting. I was really excited for that to play out all green, but this is going to be an interesting race. I hope we restart on the inside.
Now hopefully that'll make us do a bunch of pace laps.
Wave rounds are enabled.
I don't think, does it wave around with 10, less than 10 to go? I don't remember.
Yeah, it should. You should always get the wave around if you're right behind the pace car and a lap down. Single file restarts, but you still get the wave rounds. I just enabled that rule because I think that's a good rule. Oh, we're going to be restarting on the outside. I don't know if we're going to be very good. I don't know if we're going to be very good. Oh, I'm nervous. I don't want to restart on the outside.
Now that we're under yellow, Andrews, my front all good, or have I had damage basically this whole race?
It looks okay in the mirror. Focus on here.
He said right
Do
front,
we
didn't
have
he?
any two tire takers? I'm trying to figure out how I ended up not in the lead anymore.
Ian just got a better pit stop. I don't think there's anybody else in front of you besides him. I actually got a better pit stop than both of you, but I wasn't close enough to your bumpers on the entry at pit lane, so I didn't take the lead.
Whew. Oh,
Dang, I felt like
I'm concerned. Starting on the outside, we get single file restarts, stupid. Duh.
something.
Yeah, I think it kind of
All right,
depends
man,
on
we're
where you're
going
at in your
next
box
time
too.
by.
Like if you're closer towards the center, sometimes you get a faster stop, but I'm not 100% on that.
It's my own rule and I forgot it.
I was thinking it was like if you get your rears literally basically right next to that back line, so like it's early into the box you can get.
Nick is in 10th.
I think Andrew only took 2, but the lap cars took so long to catch up that he was only able to gain 1 spot from it.
Whew. This is going to be
If you watch the Coke
interesting.
drivers, they actually go, so like if the pit road speed is 45, they actually go like 50 and then slow back down to 45 on acceleration because you can do that and get away with it.
Like that 10-foot gap or something they give you for leeway.
Alright. Got to try
Anyways,
and get a
good
good
luck,
restart.
guys.
Try and
Good
keep
at
Billy
black
and
flag
Nick behind
me.
us. Hope we do alright here.
I might be down on power 20.
Oh no.
Get ready.
Alright, what's going to happen here?
Alright, man. Pace cars in. Alright, man. Pace cars in.
They're not going yet.
Green flag, green flag.
That was a mess.
To the 1 minute 23.97.
That was a mess of a start.
Outside.
We're overdriving it.
Stay low, there's a car on the high side.
Might be able to get around to Leighton.
Still there.
I wonder if there was any stack-ups back there. I don't know. That was a big mess of a start, though. Nick, I think, got way loose.
Get it, Ian.
5 laps to go. Stay low, there's a car on the high side.
Try and get around him here.
I kind of did.
Whoa.
Still there, towards the line.
Hard battle. Oh, we get a caution, and we're ahead of them.
Line up single file. Pit road is closed.
What happened?
Past the 12, past the...
What happened? Whew.
Is that it?
I'm pretty sure that's it.
That must be.
That's it.
Catch the 30 car.
Congratulations, Colton, man. Glad you didn't get taken away from you.
Colton got it back.
Wall. My bad.
Colton got it back.
Not so sure about that restart there, Tracy. That was a little strange, but good race there at the end, Kevin.
Pit road is now open.
Well, I guess either way, it was a boring finish.
It was pretty exciting from where I was sitting.
I thought it was a great race.
The fans are booing. I think that's probably why they changed it to where they have green white checkers. The fans could not be happy with the race finishing under yellow. Yeah, that was fun. I was a bit frustrated with the 8 car, but that was a lot of fun.
We're racing to race, not for entertainment.
I'm just ready
for a
short
fake
track
fan
where nobody
base.
can get away. Always constant battling. Still was fun though.
We're not doing this for TV. We're doing it for our own enjoyment.
Car 29.
Good race. I can't believe that timing, Ian. That was like terrible luck. Just like one more corner ahead or something.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got really loose. I had to get out. I did not want to get out of it. I was staying in it, and then once I realized it was going to go around, I had to lift.
There is, man. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get back to you with such short time, too.
Yeah.
Congrats to Colton again.
Would have been a great finish going green right there. All 4 of you guys were bunched up.
Great race, though. Congrats again, Colton. I was worried you weren't going to get it there after that pit stop and that caution, but fantastic freaking race. That was exciting there at the end, that battle, and great job. That was really fun.
Thanks, man. I love this series. This is a lot of fun.
We get to P7 as well. That was a good battle with the late
Yeah,
at
it's
the
so
end.
much fun racing you guys.
I cannot
Especially when
believe.
it's so clean.
Yeah, I cannot believe how long we went green, and then to have that battle at the end.
Yeah, great race, everybody.
Whew.
I would have took a caution or two this race.
Yeah, it was pretty
I feel like
intense.
you need a couple cautions every race. I've never really minded cautions.
2 laps to go.
As long as it ain't caution every 2 laps.
It was
I wouldn't
pretty
mind a
intense.
caution every like 40 laps, 50 laps.
It honestly kind of screwed me over because I started in 11th because I had a bad qualifying effort, so I could have used a caution at some point for sure.
Well,
But that's definitely my...
racing, sometimes you don't get what you need to do good. Sometimes you don't get it. Sometimes you get cautions, sometimes you don't. That's racing. We're not manufacturing cautions. We're not throwing cautions on purpose just to have a caution. You either will get lucky and get one, or you won't. That's part of racing. This is old school style. We're not doing it for TV. We're not doing it for entertainment. For anyone else, we're trying to have good green flag racing. And I think we're doing that. I'm not doing artificial cautions. I'm just not doing it. I refuse to do it.
I tried a couple things and I just ended up 5th every time. 33rd and 34th. Didn't matter if I went early, late.
Yeah, once I was back there by myself, I just kept running it long every time, just hoping to catch all you guys
1
out.
more lap to go.
16 people finish on the lead lap, it looks like, which is awesome for how long this race was. 34 still on track, I believe. John might be on track still. But we started with 42.
Wayne Colton. Glad you let me drive in this class with you guys because I'm a rookie.
Oh, is he? Where did he finish? Finished 30th. He beat a couple people. Great job. Colton, I imagine, is going to be the points leader now. He's going to get those 10 bonus points for leading a lap and leading the most laps. We're going to gain quite a few points, but we're not going to get any bonus points. And I think Colton's going to beat us by enough that he's going to overtake us. I'll try and look at the end if we can. But, yeah, fantastic stuff. That was amazing. Colton gets another win. Unfortunately, we end another one under caution, but that's the way it goes sometimes, especially when you get late restarts like that. Everyone's trying to get everything they can. Nick got really loose out of turn 4. He winds up back in 11th after restarting 10th, I guess. Because we were in 8th.
It was a lot of fun.
We were
in Colton.
We were in 8th ahead of Billy.
See y'all next week.
Yep. Nope, actually no. It's off week next week, and then the week after that we'll come back. But yes, great stuff, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
It's an off week this next coming up. We got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's the flag. It's
Yeah.
over.
Woo!
Past the
Sounds good. I'll see you guys in 2
Good
weeks.
job, driver. Past the 57.
Great,
past the
great
12,
stuff.
past the-
Great stuff.
Past the 71.
Great
past
job to
the-
Colton. He dominated once again. Fantastic stuff. Tires at the end. I mean, we didn't do that many laps, so. We got P6 there? How did we get P6? Who did we just pass? Who did we just pass at the end? Did someone get a penalty?
Thanks again, everybody. Good race.
John? What happened to him?
Good race, good win. My butt's sweaty.
Oh.
See y'all in 2 weeks.
He gave himself a penalty, passing the leader before the line. So that's unfortunate. He winds up 16th. Interesting. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks everyone for racing with us and putting on such an amazing race. And yeah. We will take a look at the caution, the 2 cautions, I guess. We had one at lap 176. And I'm not going to go through all this, I don't think, because this is an amazingly long race. Some blinking there. This is when Timothy's trying to get around Billy. Oh, Billy's getting in the back of him, and that's what caused the caution. Billy, I think, was trying to give up as little time as possible, maybe getting frustrated at all the lap cars that are passing us. Just gets into the back of the 9, and that spins him, and that's where we get a caution. Maybe he wanted a caution. You never know. You got that sometimes in the Cup Series, people causing yellows when they needed. So that's that, and then we had the restart, which was very intense. See how that all played out. Oh, Frank just gets it loose, overcorrects into the wall. I don't think anyone even gets into him. Nope. So that wasn't even any crazy thing there. Colton going in to celebrate his 3rd win. They're making it really easy on me. Because in Discord, I've been changing giving everyone a color if they win, and
that was so close to
haven't had to
win there. The caution came out
change
right
anything
when I got around him. It was kind of crazy.
Let's see when the caution came out. Lap 1. I think we're still green.
Oh, I just watched your last pit stop, Colton. You almost ate it.
Yeah, he was ahead.
Yeah, that was an adventure. Even before I got to my stall, we had Ryan coming out of his stall, and we kind of got tripped over on each other. There was a couple scary moments there.
Benjamin said he had a close call.
Yeah, I'm glad you held on to it and won.
On that the final first run. We'll see if we can see that real quick. I don't know if that was intentional by Billy. But he definitely did get him. See if we can see this close call. I don't know. I missed it. I don't want to spend too much time looking because this video is long enough. Let's go to this. See if we can see the points. Where is it? Right there. Is Discord going to crash? Hopefully not. Seasons. This one. Colton has taken the lead by a solid 2 points with his 3 wins Average finish at 13th. 30 bonus points, if you can see that. And we have 0. Kevin's still up here, though. He's got 1,007. We're about 60 points ahead of him. Ian, Andrew, and Tracy. Eric with his 2 wins, but he dropped out early of this one. So he's pretty far down. Tyler also dropped out early. I think he ended up finishing last in this race. So yeah, can we go to the results page? Colton leads 158 out of the 187 laps. Great job to him. He gets the 10 bonus points, 185 points overall. We wind up with 150. Nick gets 139. But he also got bonus points, I think, for leading. He led 7 laps. We led 0. It'd be nice to lead a lap or two one of these days in one of these races. Whoops. So, yeah. Awesome stuff. Great racing. Enjoyed that immensely, as always. And this is just a fantastic, fantastic series, and I'm looking forward to all the rest of it. It's been awesome.